All right, that's enough of the catch up. I now have Ralph and Andy Warski to make fun of, actually. I haven't talked about Andy in forever. Andy kind of scares me. Not like in a, I think he can hurt me, but I think he would. If he could get away with it, he would. Ralph is kind of like that too, but I think I could take Ralph. Andy Warski, he does like drugs and shit. He's like shooting testosterone right into his fucking temple. I don't know. I don't trust that. He's like a roid monkey, like fucking Natter. It's just kind of creepy, kind of scary. uh, so Andy Warski has been up to shenanigans this week, and it blends into Ralph nicely. So I will be talking about it. In this is 11 minutes long. I've heard some of it. I know what's in it. I'm not going to play all of it, but I will play some of it until I get bored. Andy Warski has been catching flack for quite a while now because he aborted his son. I don't know if they knew the gender, the sex of the baby, but it's colloquially referred to as Andy Warski Jr. And he has always caught a lot of negative attention, especially since there's like this trend of neo-religious religiosity, especially like Catholicism, like in the sector. In this sector, there is a upswelling of religious belief, in our lost, degenerate society. And Andy Warski, contrary to that, is an abortionist. He has aborted his child, and people have always given him shit for it. And not what he decided that the best thing to do would be to lean in on it. So he went on this impromptu tirade about his abortion and Andy Jr. And I've listened to like a minute of it, but it's 11 minutes long, this clip, so we'll just listen to a little bit of it.
He needs. He literally, like, like some things he does are funny, sure. When he's like, "All right," but watching him cry constantly and go, "Bartsky and Aston," his nickname for you is Aston. Okay, grade three fucking diss.
It's very creative.
This guy's fucking talking about like my fucking abortion or whatever. At least I had the decency as a fucking drug addict with my girlfriend for me and her to agree and go, we would be horrible parents. Let's end this fucking baby's life. Fuck it. Take it out. I don't even care about abortion. You want to know what my fucking truth about abortion?
PPP, his expression, his like dumb shrug. Oh my god, I have to put this up on screen real quick. This is a really weird throwback to to kind of reference PPP to, but his like dumbstruck expression where he can't seem to comprehend what's going on reminds me so much of Barb.
I think that the people who abort babies are probably the people that you want to abort babies. Because it's less people who don't go on a green light. It's the people at the bank who, when the person's like, next please, they're on their phone and they're not moving and it creates longer lines. It's the people who hold you up at the ATM. It's the people who sell crack to your child are the people who are being aborted. You should be happy that people are being aborted. What you think it's like an amazing family parental unit who's like, let's abort our baby? No, they want to have the baby. It's people who have abortions are the people who are like, yeah, fuck this baby, smoking crack. I wasn't ready. It was both of our decisions. But at least we had the decency, unlike Ralph, who brought a baby into the world and abandoned it, and now is not taking care of it, and is hiding underground in a fucking bomb shelter from a baby, his own baby. Oh, R.I.P.
Andy Jr. bros, no.
Andy Jr. is at least in fucking heaven, fucking rolling around in clouds and shit. But your fucking baby's abandoned, and now your other baby's abandoned. Do you think I care about fucking abortion? Oh, yeah.
Listen, I will say this. Going through these IP2 clips, even though I'm against abortion, is probably the ultimate argument for abortion. I hate to say it.
I hate to say it. You should have abortions as a...
I disavow some of what Andy is saying, you know.
I mean, it's kind of like he's saying, like, yeah, Andy Warski, you're the best argument for abortion there is. And he's just like, yeah, I know. I was like, okay. It is a complicated philosophical issue. I think that people should just not be reckless. In an ideal society, that would be the case, right? I don't know. It's like, I feel like if I'm saying, yeah, I'm glad that Andy doesn't have a kid, and I wish that Ralph didn't have a kid, didn't have children, it kind of feels like I'm advocating for his kids to be killed. It kind of sounds like the exact same thing, and I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm willing to go that far.
No, but it's
I'll
pretty
play a couple
fucking
minutes of it,
jokes.
though.
This is like Andy's all unhinged.
Look,
hard.
I don't think you should have abortions as a means of contraception, you know, all that bullshit. And I also believe it is killing a baby. I'm not going, well, it's just a bundle. I know what it is. I understand what it is. But here's my opinion. I don't give a fuck. With this whole Roe versus Wade thing, I'm like, everyone's like, what is your opinion? I don't care. I don't care about other people's babies. I don't care who dies. I don't care who lives. I care about doing the show with Ashton, boxing, playing video games, watching movies, and hanging out with the boys and having some beers. Oh, some black fucking women in Chicago just had an abortion. I'm like, I hope they have a party for it. I don't care.
It's Kino. This is some Kino shit. I wonder what Andy Jr. would think of this unhinged rant.
Andy Jr. And they're like,
Andy
oh,
Jr.
you
like,
killed
I
your
love
son.
you, Dad.
Maybe it was maybe it would have ended up being a retarded baby. You don't know that. When I was at my cokehead phase.
He wants to say it, but he didn't want to get the argument out there. He's like, there's a guarantee it's going to be a retarded baby if it's related to you, Andy.
Had a fucking... Look, it was revealed by Geek Thulu, that fucking piece of shit. He revealed this. Now everyone thinks I care about this thing. I couldn't give a... And then they're like... And then Andy forced her to have it. And then he played Mario where she sobbed. Oh, when she sobbed. You want to know she's like, I'm pregnant. And I went, what are you gonna do? She's like, abortion. And I went, cool. That was the conversation. It was sad. It was weird. Of course, I didn't want it to happen. I don't think you should have an abortion if you don't. But we were fucking out of our minds if we had it.
I just can't even believe there are motherfuckers out there that said fire Warski. Like, this is the Warski that we need.
No, you know what?
I don't give a fuck. Andy Ransky back.
You know what?
This is
okay, you know what?
Fucking, like,
if y'all want it back,
like,
I was trying to be.
Tardsky.
I don't even know what to say.
I was trying to be the nice laughing fucking F slur. You know what? If you guys want now, because everyone's gonna throw tomatoes anyway, I'll just say whatever I fucking think. And my thing is, if you cry about some people's abortions, that's a waste of your fucking time. You know what? How about this? People who cry about abortions, have a kid.
Oh my God,
but
Andy,
you fucking
burned the whole casino down. My God.
No, but you want my fucking beliefs? After years, you killed your baby. I don't care. I literally don't care. I'm not even pro-choice. I'm pro. I couldn't give a fuck. Oh my God. I've been in my training today. You know, I had to lift my hands up and get punched for 3 3-minute rounds in my ribs. And then I went down and did a plank when my coach was kicking me in the ribs. And I held it strong.
I've always heard that Andy keeps talking about his fucking boxing training all the time. It's like, how do you fit this into this conversation? Like, that you train? Who gives a fuck?
And then someone's like, did you have an abortion? I'm like, I'm becoming a warrior. I'm not only going to abort my old baby, but I'm going to abort whoever I fight in the fucking ring. Salt Poppy will have a abortion at whatever age he is right now. 30 or whatever the fuck he is. I don't even know. Guys, I don't care. I'm not a super... Everyone's like, Andy's alt-right conservative. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I like some conservative values.
This is somehow more retarded than his like edgy teenage pro-death stance.
But me, I'm more apolitical. Ask Ashton.
Yeah.
I will abort people day and night.
PPP because he's currently burying his face in shame and what he's become.
He has like this like painting mural of me eating a baby. I'll do that.
No, Andy, don't say you're gonna eat.
Well, they're gonna say it anyway. So who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck? That's my thoughts.
What would Andy Jr. think? My God.
Oh
Andy.
my God, Andy Jr. is dead. He can't think.
Oh my God. I don't know what to say, bros. I don't know what to say, but that was pretty fucking Kino. That was Andy going hard.
No, bro.
That was Sargoy's putting crowns. People are putting crowns in the chat. They're saying you're the legend.
I know, but here's the thing:
the king.
I'll be honest with you. Sometimes I hold back. You want to know why? Because I used to be crazy and intense and all this stuff, and I was trying to turn over a new leaf and be a nice guy. But there is darkness inside of me, Ashton. Okay,
it's called the more blood.
And when you have to
it's the moreness in you,
face to face with Ralph in your, I haven't blocked. He has me blocked, but I still have to see his tweet to the point where I'm like,
I gotta say, this is like the best Warski segment that there's been ever on the show.
But if you want, I'll say all my fucking truths forever now. I don't care anymore.
Andy, this is the fucking best shit ever. We're full on Cronus mode, Cronus Warski. This is.
I swear to
I
God.
don't even know. Andy Jr. is sitting in a garbage can in a dumpster.
No,
I can't.
This energy between like PPP and Warski, where Warski's like dead serious, like, yeah, I want to fucking murder babies. That's so fucking cool. And PPP is trying to like promote this and be like, this is funny, like quality content Kino that like the show is known for. It has this really, really awkward energy where it's like, I'm just picturing in my head like a used car salesman, and he's trying to sell this car. And the car is just like obviously a piece of shit. And he's like, sure, it might be rough on the outside, but once you get her going, she purrs beautifully. And he starts up the car and just starts choking and wheezing, and it won't start. And he's like, you gotta give it a couple kicks here, but once it gets going, it's just the best darn car that we have. And it just refuses to start, and it just keeps choking out. And he's just sitting there smiling awkwardly, and everything is fucking like just super tense and uncomfortable.
He was blended by a machine.
Oh my God.
That went,
oh my God.
And he was little pieces.
It was done on
flushed.
your orders. It was done on your
My
orders.
fucking
Andy.
orders. Are you fucking?
It was done on your orders. You had him killed.
It was done on my blessing.
Holy fuck.
I am so happy that baby's gone. If that baby was here, it was either me or Andy Jr. If look, my ex, I hope she's doing well. Like me and her are cool. We moved on, right? But if me and her were not good for each other, she would say that. Now, I never wanted to tell anyone this fucking story, but Geek Cthulhu is a piece of shit who I could say some words about him if you want me to fucking really go. But if that baby was around and I had to survive in that relationship, I would take a noose. I would hang it.
Andy, stop. Andy, stop.
I would hang it on a sturdy
He's no
pole.
longer trying to sell this car. He's realized that the car is on fire, and the door does not open. It has locked. The window is not rolling down. The hood is emitting smoke. He smells burning rubber. There's fire somewhere in this vehicle. The glass is not sliding down. The bolt is not coming undone, and I am still in this car. The sale is over. I just need to get the fuck out of this.
I wouldn't be here. I'm not even joking.
Oh my God.
So if I hear Addy Abortsky, yes, I'm going to actually make, you know what? Merch store is coming in a few Fridays from now. I will have a shirt that says Abortski, and I'll fucking wear it on the show. Abortions.
We're gonna have a shirt.
I think abortions should be cheaper.
We're gonna have a shirt. What would Andy Jr. think of this?
Beautiful. And it's
what
a
would
picture
Andy
of
Jr. have done?
Of an angel
Fetus?
baby. Yeah, but with like a
my
halo
God.
on it. And we'll just Photoshop me like this. We'll Photoshop me like this. And there'd be like a little halo there.
Holy fuck.
Abortski. By the way, Ethan Ralph, that fucking piece of shit, he begged Faith Vickers for an abortion.
It's true.
And I don't blame him. But you know,
listen, Andy, just because I gave the order to kill my son doesn't mean that I wanted it killed, even though I begged to have it killed.
No, I have to give.
There's a part, I hope it's in this last minute, because I don't know if it was made up now. I was waiting for it.
I have to act like I care. Oh, maybe I won't tell people. I won't.
Only 40 seconds left.
True.
I won't fucking, tell people. I'm not on coke right now. That's the thing. I'm not on coke. This is normal.
Oh, this is just Andy's high energy. Listen, Andy, there's a lot of crowns. There's tomatoes.
Stop.
There's.
Dude, stop. How about this? How about you eat my asshole?
Tell him, Andy.
Abort Andy
Teach
Senior. That's pretty funny. Anyway.
Sergeant Sarge for $20.
Right to donations. Someone made a comment that he should be glad his father didn't think like that. I have come to a realization, maybe I am a little bit off, but that actually, let me do a poll first. I just want to get a head count of my audience. Do you agree with Andy Warski that abortion is based? Do a yes or no. Simple, ask the community. And while the results are coming in for that, let me pontificate and explore an idea with you guys. I have, based on like who you generally assume like is for or against abortion, I want to say, and this was inspired by that comment saying that Andy Warski should be glad his father didn't feel the same way about abortion that he does. That the people who are like the most okay with abortion are people who are kind of ambivalent towards their own existence. Because if that logic is, well, what if my parents felt the same way about abortion that I do? I might not be alive. If you aren't, happy to be alive, if you aren't happy in general, then you just be like, oh well, and that would be like the end of that. You know what I mean? If you're just sort of like a nihilist pessimist who doesn't really have a reason to be alive, you're probably more okay with abortion than other people who are genuinely happy to be alive. Just a thought, just an idea that has popped into my head. Perhaps I'm wrong. But yeah. Okay, my audience has voted 1,087 votes. 74% of people do not agree with Andy Warski that abortion is based, and 25% do out of 1,000. Very interesting. I wonder how many people are troll voting in either direction. IP2 people should have kids, all of them. I feel like the discussion about which people should have kids is not a part of the abortion debate. It's a part of a eugenics debate. Like, I think the way that works to me is that we should just say abortion is wrong, but also we're not going to allow certain people to procreate at all. We're just going to find some sort of egalitarian way to say you don't get to have, you don't get to have kids, you don't get to have kids. Or, you know what even works better than that is if we just take away any kind of social welfare. Then people will just not have kids, right? Is that how that works if you're impoverished? Poor people only have kids when they need kids to work their farm or something, I think. I think that the poor urban youth would not have a bunch of kids if they didn't get social welfare. They're too stupid to reason. I don't know. Maybe we should just deport poor people to Brazil. Maybe. Need the stem cells. Yeah, okay, whatever. That's enough of that. Oh, I forgot about this. I have not listened to this all the way yet. I know that's bad. Andy Warski was not content with just going on a unhinged rant about abortion for 11 minutes. He also wrote and performed a song, which I will now play for you.
Andy's
Folks,
put together
a little thing for y'all.
Here that I'm gonna preemptively disavow the horrible content that's present in this song.
Okay.
For those of you who are good Christians, cover your ears.
For everyone who likes jokes and comedy,
turn off the show. Jesus wouldn't have you listen to this song. Jesus would want you to throw Andy to the wolves.
I want you all to pull out your lighters. Everyone, you're gonna float, hold it in the air. I just threw some lighter compilations here for you all, because this song is quite magical. I think you'll all enjoy it. Okay. About 3 weeks ago, I went to my local bar.
I hate to interrupt it, but PPP immediately, not even 3 seconds in to the fucking song, is already like in physical pain. He is flinching in response to this.
Pretty chick, and brought her back to my car. We hit it off, and she said, let's go to your house to be alone. I said, I'm sorry, baby, but my parents are at home. Plus, I'm drunk as fuck. I've drank way too much beer. Let's take off our pants right now and fuck right here. I finished up, and I won't lie, it was a fun lay. I said, see ya, pretty lady, maybe we'll talk another day. Now about 3 days ago,
should have made this my outro song.
I get a call from you. You say we're having a baby. Fuck, I'm so screwed.
Look at Warski vibe into it.
Now
he's liking it.
Listen to me, lady, and don't take this out of proportion. But listen now, baby, you need an abortion. 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 I'm sorry, pretty lady, but you're not pretty enough to have my baby. Abortion. Abortion. I don't mean to sound offensive, but a baby is expensive.
Wow. I mean, I laughed at one of the lines, I guess, but it's a really bad song. It's like it's kind of amazing that someone can have the audacity to actually make that and put that out there and just like own it and be like, yeah, this is my steaming pile of shit. I made this. I'm very proud of it, and you're going to listen to it now. That kind of audacity can be a good thing, unless you're Andy Warski. You need a high IQ to actually utilize it, though. It's over. Warski posting his L's. This is some serious cope. Tarred tracks with music notes. Ralph 1. Hit it as hard as you can, PPP. The real abortion is this song. This is worse than Tux molesting his sister. You killed him, Andy, with pictures of a black baby. Why Warski, the cringe is unbearable. I just avow you were working on this instead of prep. Okay. Alright, that's enough of that. We can segue into the real content. Ralph, what triggered this whole abortion thing, by the way, is Ralph putting out this shirt as merchandise for the kill stream. I guess Knitter is not going to play nice with me, but it's a particularly terrible design. All of his designs are just fucking awful, but This is like it's Andy Warski's face. It appears to be severed baby limbs to make up like the horns, and then it just says Abortsky with the devil's pentagram on his forehead, and he's like photoshopped with like a devil face. Here, actually, this is the link from the shop, so we can get a better look at this. This is at shop.theralphretort.com in case you want to have this wonderful shirt for yourself. You can actually get it in a variety of colors. Here, I'm thinking about getting the Abortsky wife beater. When I beat my wife, I want to have this wife beater on so that when the police show up, they know I am a functioning member of society. My priorities are in order, and I am a 3X. I can't get this in a 3X. Why can't I get the wife beater in a 3X? Oh, I can get the hoodie in a 3X. The wife beater only goes up to a medium. That's bullshit. Maybe the 3Xs are all balled out already. I'm just a little bit late. Oh, we can get this in a ladies relaxed fit tee 2XL and wow pink. And you can go to your book club meeting or whatever you do as a whammon and show this off to your friends and be like, yeah. Oh my God, a child's onesie, a baby's onesie. We can get this in newborn, 6-month, 12-month, 18-month, or 24-month in any color you want. Do you have a friend expecting? Why not pick up a Abortsky baby onesie in whatever color you want, really, and just hook that sucker up fresh out of the womb with an Abortsky baby onesie. Let's fucking go, chat. This is quality. So I'll put this out, and Andy Warski did his fucking tard out shit. $21 for a onesie, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money for, I bet all that goes to Ralph. He's got the premium jacked up to maximum. Anyways, Warski tards out, and Ralph is really grilling him and being like, oh, he's a fucking baby murderer. I'm gonna put out my Abortsky baby onesie design. And I'm gonna dab on the cringe casino, the Andy Abortsky. And this caused Faith Vickers, who is of course the mother of his firstborn son, whom he has never met in person, to come out and denounce Ralph as encouraging her to have an abortion and denouncing him as a hypocrite and saying that when I was pregnant, he wanted me to get rid of the child. And he says, she came to me lying about wanting an abortion. I called her bluff while also saying I didn't want her to get one. She doesn't show that text. It was her idea to get an abortion. Sick game she was playing. I've talked about it all in public. Your lies don't work here. Sad game the mother of my son continues to play about her fake idea to abort him. Mentally ill person. I've talked about it before. And then Faith says, it's a hypocrisy. It is the hypocrisy of it, my dude. Ralph tried to coerce me into an abortion when I didn't want it. It is my body, my choice. My choice was keeping my son. Ralph mocks Warski for a choice that wasn't his, but then he did this. That was my point. This is an absolute lie and will be passed along to my attorney. I'm literally in the text telling her not to get an abortion. She came to me with a fake story about wanting one. This is a complete fiction, which again, I've talked about before. And then Pantsu comes in and says, did somebody say abortion? Oh, she's like Scooby-Doo, Scooby Shacks, abortion? Did somebody say abortion? She only gets more excited when you say lolicon. When you say lolicon, she'll pop through the fucking wall like a cartoon character and leave an imprint hole. That's the exact silhouette of her outline. Time to unlock my Twitter again and talk about my totally valid trauma so strangers online will make me feel important. It's time to grow up and stop playing the victim. Oh, she's mocking Faith, of course. Mocking Faith. Pantsu definitely wrote that, by the way, not Ethan Ruff. Maybe I should just read all her tweets in the voice. Somebody pointed out that he has a restraining order from Faith and is not allowed to talk about her in public because he is a fucking creepy weirdo, and the courts of California said you don't get to talk about her in public. We're going through family court. You do not need to make this a public spectacle. It's not in the child's interest for the mother to be stressed out by what you're saying about her on social media. And then Ralph, see, in Ralph's mind, because he's a retard, he thinks, surely the judge will rule in my favor, even though I am violating my own court order to not talk about Faith Vickers. The fact that she has defamed my good character once again, I will settle this in the public arena and deal with the legal consequences later. And he doesn't realize that that's not how it works. When the court says don't fucking do something, they're really dead serious about that. Oh yeah, and he did try to call her on Skype, and he later backtracked that, because that is so direct contact with her is super against his restraining order and much less harder to even justify like he's doing with this. And he says, "Oh, I butt dialed her." And it's like, okay, Ralph, I'm sure you just accidentally called her. He probably talked to his attorney or something, or just came up with that on the spot. Who knows? But he follows up again, now clarifying that he doesn't want to talk to her after people point out that he could be in violation of his restraining order by what he did. He gunt dialed her. He bumped up against his phone. His gunt did it. I have no desire to contact this lying woman again. I haven't tried in over a year. Me going through my Skype messages to find the part where you wanted to have your own son aborted is what led to me accidentally pressing call, and now they're trying to trumpet that. I have literally zero desire to ever see this person again, and I wish they would leave me and my family alone. But they continue to lie about me almost daily. I will be seeking my own restraining order tomorrow instead. Keep in mind, I wouldn't even be outing her wanting to abort her own son without her trying to lie about me. It's ridiculously evil, and I'm not going to let it stand. To which Pantsu says, it's been 2 years and she's still melting down trying to ruin him because he found someone better. It's been non-stop drama since she came on board. A sick person who lies about everyone in her life. I'm glad I took my mans away from her. Which is, of course, a real tweet that Pantsu wrote, and not Ethan Ralph. Faith deleted all her tweets, and nobody on the forum thought to archive them. However, Blue Mia Plakidis, this guy named Blue, archived the actual images that she posted. And let me make sure that all this shit is preloaded as I read through them real quick. So Ethan Ralph at midnight, and this was some time ago, because his mom was still alive. My mom didn't have much money. I don't have that much, like $35,000. She says, I will raise this baby on my fucking own. He says, I'll leave her the information. I don't know what I should do with my last hours, though. And then she's saying, don't fucking go threatening suicide now. And then Ethan says, it's not a threat. I'm not going through all this. So he's sad and threatening to kill himself. She asks, through what? And then this is a correspondence between Faith and May. She says, I'm just uneasy being around him now, even though I do love him, if he takes what he did seriously at all. May says, of course it won't be the same. It was really traumatic for you, and I think it was for him too. The difference is I took the trauma and decided to step away so we could better ourselves. I tried doing that. It doesn't look like he's tried. He won't stop drinking, and it's kind of what started everything. The alcohol makes him very violent and more likely to be angry, and it makes me feel incredibly unsafe. And May says that's why it's important for the both of us to be there, because the situation is completely different than that night in the hotel. I had no idea what was going on between you two, and it came as a total surprise. And that's when May tried to coax a pregnant woman into having a threesome with her and Ralph. And Faith continues saying, well, it came as a surprise to me too, but it's not the first time he's gotten kind of violent when angry, especially drunk and angry. If he did it once, I doubt he would do it when drunk. I mean, every professional mental health professional I've spoke to here has told me if I went back, it would severely worsen my mental state and in turn harm my baby. And I just want my baby to be okay. And I don't know if it'll be that way if I come back and he thinks I forgive him or that's okay. May says, I know what you went through is not something that you will ever forget, and I'm proud of you for putting your baby first. She says, everyone says that. May says, I really do believe Ralph is trying his best and wants to be a good father. She asks then why, and May says, I want to support you and be there for you. She asks, why does he continue to drink? And May says, because he has problems. Because he's angry, the plan is getting fucked. I don't know. She says that he choked her. May says, it got fucked because I didn't listen to you. I should have told him to stay out that night. Blah, blah, blah. If I called the cops, I wouldn't be a victim again. She said you would be the victim. It would not have changed what he did. So basically, Faith is just saying that she was getting physically abused. And May is saying... here she says, I already pulled out. I asked... May is like defending Ralph and saying, like, don't call the cops on Ralph because he'll go to jail and that won't unbeat you. And that's literally what she's saying here. If I called the cops, I wouldn't be a victim again. But May says, you still would have been the victim and it would not change what he did. So literally, if Ralph had raped her or something, she would go, fine, call the cops. It's not going to unrape you. Like, what a bitch. May says you can't control him. And the fact that you even try to tell him what to do is probably what makes him so angry. I asked if he'd pick the baby over anything else, and May says, don't ask bullshit like that. Like, did you ask him just to make him mad? She says, no, I asked him because I've told him everything I've been willing to sacrifice for the child. And she says, it's really powerful to say those things, but it's not helpful to make him have to choose to theoretically pick his child over something else. You know he would. Oh, pick your drinking or your child. You can't ask him to do that. You can't ask him to pick drinking or his child because you know which one he's going to pick. It's not fair to him. Run away. You think I'm running away when he again assaulted me? Talk shit, trying to figure it out. I hope you're doing okay. I really look forward to us living together. She's still trying to hook up like a threesome, like polyamorous relation. What the fuck is wrong with May? May is the craziest fucking cunt on the entire site. I have no idea what her motivations are at any given time. She is either like profoundly retarded or she's trying to get into one of those fatal attraction situations where they can just go kidnap children together. And that's like her long-term plan. I'm really happy I met you, and right now there's an opportunity for you to take control of your life. I want to be there to support you. I don't want to get in the way of your relationship. I just want a place where I can work and have independence and learn to be ourselves and out in the world. You have so much potential and a beautiful heart, and I just want to be there for you. I just asked that it not be sexual right now. She says, I respect that. Faith says, I still have a clear boundary that Ralph not have sex with you without me. That's like one thing I won't change my mind on. She says, I know. And then she says, I also want you to know if he tries to, that it wasn't agreed upon. Well, the horse wins in the end, I guess. Good luck. You can't beat May. She's conniving. She's gonna get Ralph all to herself. It's the 5-year plan. This is clips from Rand's stream. If you don't know who Rand is a neo-Nazi who is obsessed with anime and like streams for 8 hours a day, completely shit-faced drunk. His wife will come into his room and yell at him at random. And he's just like a fucking deadbeat loser piece of shit. And it's infuriating to even try to talk to him because he's one of those people who's too stupid to know he's stupid. And you realize that almost immediately, like in any conversation with him, that he's just a fucking liar and he's just a gigantic fucking turd. And any time spent talking to him is a waste of time. So naturally, that's what kind of podcast Gator shows up on to spill the piping hot tea about Ethan Ralph. This clip is 9 minutes long. I've not listened to it. I will listen to it until I get bored, I guess. I could just skip it. I'll listen to it for a minute minimal. And if it's not like interesting, then I will skip it.
So he drives drunk down to Virginia Beach with Faith, who is pregnant at the time, by the way. So they get there. And Faith is being smart, and she's not partaking in anything because she is excited. She's happy to be finally having a baby. It's what she's always wanted. And she's there, and she thinks that they're all going down there to have a fun time. And that was Ralph's intention, was to go down there and have a fun time. But Faith wasn't part of the equation. See, Ralph had been talking with May, and May was not satisfied with Digibro, and hadn't been for a long time. And Ralph had set up this entire event because Ralph and May had decided they were going to get together.
You know what?
And
Rand had actually called that as soon as Pantsuit Party May said, as soon as she said, I want a baby.
Oh, fuck. I'm muted. Sorry. I paused it here to let you guys know that I was warned that this audio would have what was called a hole. Just a annoying hole. Apparently the hole is named Pond. So when you hear this voice, know that it is a hole named Pond that Rand has somehow acquired for his podcast.
But like, oh yeah, she's gonna break up with Digibro 100% of the time. We were making fun of her.
Of course. So Ralph had set it up so that he was going to go down there to their place on his birthday, and Ralph was going to consummate his new relationship with May. And so they go down there, and they're all doing all sorts of drugs, getting high as fuck. I think Riley had shrooms or something like that. I don't know what other drugs were involved. That's where because the part in the middle is where things get kind of murky, and that's why I was hoping Riley could tell the story about what was going on at that part, because that's the part that I missed out on, that I didn't hear anything about. But they were doing drugs, and at a certain point, Ralph and May kind of go off on their own, and they start fooling around when everybody else is distracted and away. Well, apparently, someone walks in on them while they're fooling around. And immediately, Ralph gets accused of raping May. Immediately. Because May tries to tell the story, tries to explain that, oh, that wasn't what it looked like, that wasn't what it looked like, but it was totally what it looked like. And Riley and Digibro and all the people in their apartment are freaking the fuck out. And Ralph is immediately like, I have to get the fuck out of here. I gotta get out of here now. And Riley's fucking screaming at him. So at this time when this is going on, I just happen to be like away from my computer. Like I'm coming home at this moment, and I get a fucking Discord call from Ralph at like 12 in the morning. And I'm like, what the fuck does Ralph want? I thought he was like having his birthday party at the fucking cuck house or whatever. By the way, I fucking hate Digibro. Even then I fucking hated him. I hated him for a long fucking time. So I get this call from Ralph, and I hear like fucking screaming on the other end of the phone. And I'm sitting there like, what the fuck is going on? And Ralph says, stay on the line. So I'm like, what the hell's going on? And I hear Digibro like wailing, just fucking wailing, like, oh, on the front lawn, kicking and fucking screaming. I hear Riley shouting over the phone, did you rape May? Did you rape May?
Damn.
I get the story later. And this is what I've been able to piece together of the events. So Ralph and May were fooling around. They got walked in on by Riley, I believe. May tried to play it off to try to protect herself, which made Riley think that Ralph was trying to force himself on May.
Right.
Ralph, when they started freaking out at him, tried to get the fuck out of there as quickly as possible. And Ralph, now let me tell you what happened. Ralph grabs Faith. And remember, Ralph is drunk and high and on all sorts of drugs at this point. So he literally grabs Faith and starts dragging her out of the fucking house.
Right, because like when you're in a house full of people who are convinced that you're raping someone, what you then want to do is like give them the impression that you're also abducting them.
Right. So he fucking drags her out, grabs her so hard that she gets bruised. She kind of starts fighting because she doesn't know what the fuck's going on. She's like, you're hurting me. What are you, Ralph, stop. What are you doing? And literally grabbed her by the fucking neck and said, flat out, told her to shut the fuck up. We have to get the fuck out of here. His pregnant girlfriend, pregnant fucking girlfriend, drags her to the fucking car, literally fucking forces her into the vehicle, by this time, Digibro was on the front lawn screaming and wailing and just losing his shit because he's, number one, Digibro's high as fuck.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like here's the thing, team. But like for the audience who's confused, why is no one calling the police? Oh, there's a good reason why no one's calling the police.
Because everybody's on drugs.
Yeah, they don't want the police there. They don't want the police attending this domicile.
So by the time that Ralph calls me, he's already shoved Faith into the car. He's yelling with Riley, and for some reason, see, Ralph thinks that something's going to happen, so he calls me to be a witness to this shit show, so that I could overhear the moment that Riley like decks him in the face, or somebody like kills the other person. And so I'm sitting here like, I have no idea what's fucking going on. I had just gotten home, and I'm like trying to run to my computer to like get to fucking Discord and get on so I can like record whatever the fuck is going on. But it ended before I even got to my fucking computer. So I'm listening to this happen and just losing my fucking mind. I'm like, Ralph, what the fuck is going on?
I had no
and
idea
I hear,
it was this bad. I really had no fucking idea.
So Ralph gets into his car and tries to leave, but Riley fucking stops him and stands in front of it and is screaming like, you're gonna have to run me over. You're gonna have to run me over. Did you rape May? Did you rape May? At some point, Ralph managed to somehow talk Riley down and convince him that he was just seeing things, that that wasn't what was going on.
Hang on, how many times did he have to say "fuck you, bitch" before Riley was convinced?
Oh, he did actually say "fuck you, bitch" at the beginning of it. He actually did say that.
God, he's so fucking annoying.
Because when they were yelling at each other, Riley was like confronting me. He's like, "Did you rape me? Did you rape me?" Ralph was like, "You better get the fuck out of my way. You better get the fuck out of my way. Like, I'm gonna move you out of my fucking way. Fuck you, bitch." You know, shit like that.
So,
and threatening that he was gonna fucking run him over if he didn't move.
So
and then eventually he de-escalated it some fucking how, because they keep talking, and then eventually, like, I think Riley comes down from his like drug state a little bit and starts to kind of be more chill. And they start having this conversation. He's like, no, that's not what happened. That's totally not what happened at all. You're just seeing things. You're just crazy.
Let's just smoke some
Digibro's still fucking wailing in the background. And eventually he gets Riley to move out of the front of his car. And when Riley does, Ralph fucking peels out. He fucking slams on the gas, turns out. By the way, Faith was not wearing her seatbelt yet at this moment, was trying to figure out what the fuck was going on. And Ralph fucking turns and peels out of the cul-de-sac, like the little area.
I was believing them up until he said that. How does he know that Faith did not have her seatbelt on? He said it was a Discord call. How does he know that she doesn't have her seatbelt on?
Yeah.
And what happens is it slams Faith against the side of the fucking car door. And it's lucky the fucking door didn't break open because she would have fallen out of the fucking car. And Ralph drives drunk, high, and drugged all the way back to Richmond from Virginia Beach.
We listened to all of that. There's a couple. I'll play this.
Yeah, the May and Alice stuff. So Ralph decided that he really loves sequels. And so he decided to try the same trick that he tried with Faith with Alice. So he sent May to kind of strike up a conversation with her and try to convince her to join them in a polyamorous relationship. Because that's what Ralph always does. He always sends May in first to try to like strike up the conversation. And see, I don't know if May really was, because May told Alice that she was thinking of leaving Ralph and getting away. But I don't know how truthful that was, or if that was just to like lower Alice's defenses, to like lure her in, to make her think that she's sharing with me this like deep secret, so I should trust her. And eventually got Alice face to face with Ralph, and where Ralph decided to shove his chode in her face.
That's consistent with how like female groomers work. Is like when there was a case that was really famous in Canada where a guy sends out his girlfriend to abduct a little girl, and because she's a woman and children trust women more, she just walks up and says like, "Hey, you want to go see a puppy?" And she's like, "Sure." And she holds her hand and she takes her to this van so that her boyfriend can rape this child. So when there are female accomplices to like sadists, like sexual sadists, that's usually how it works. So I don't know if Gator is smart enough to know that, to make up details like that, or, I mean, I can believe it. May is like a fucking weirdo. Now that, I mean, I mentioned it before, the fatal attraction thing. Ralph is definitely someone who thinks that he deserves sex with whoever he wants, and May is someone who apparently feels gratified by hooking these things up, so I can kind of believe it.
Yeah, you're right. Chat's right. May is acting exactly like Ghislaine Maxwell. She would go out and find the females and talk to them for Ralph.
She has a pattern.
And then would bring them back for Ralph to fuck.
She has a pattern. With Faith, with Alice, come on. Once is a fluke, but twice is definitely a pattern.
That woman is the least convincing. That's like a true and falsetto. Why does Rand have a troon on his podcast, his Nazi anime podcast? Very strange. Very strange, chat. Very strange. So there you go. That's the Gator story. And Ralph hears this, and not to be undid, he trots the horse out to recount her side of the story live.
By the
Go
way,
ahead, Pantsu.
Bro. Even then.
Can you be heard?
I can be heard.
Yeah, go ahead. What do you say to this preposterous story being told?
It's really creepy hearing Gator recount it because you can tell he's like fantasized about it and changed aspects of the story. It's just really creepy. You could tell he's totally jealous too.
Just tell yours what happened.
Okay. Well, you came over and we probably weren't even going to go do anything, but I like really wanted to fuck you.
That is vile.
Go ahead. Just tell the story. Just tell the story.
From the very beginning.
Just tell the story.
Okay.
Just tell whatever you want. Here,
well, you were gonna come over and hang out with us. And I was at that time living with Digi, Riley, his fucking weird autistic girlfriend that he's now whoring out on like OnlyFans. And whatever the fucking faggot bird is, right? So they were all there. And you brought over your ex too. And that was the night that you found out that I think she was pregnant, right?
Yes.
So it was kind of like a very awkward encounter, and everybody there was like on acid too at this time.
I was not.
No, neither of us did acid.
And not bullshitting. That's not just me saying
No.
that. I wasn't.
Riley had some, and then I think those faggots all did acid. But you came over, and I really wanted to fuck, so I was like,
Faith didn't have any either. By
No,
the way,
no.
the person there. Anyway, go ahead.
yeah. So we went away in your car, and we like did the deed, and we came back, and you fucked me so good that like, I don't know, Riley said
Oh my
something
God,
like
this is
really kind of
fucking
that
awful.
pissed me off about my relationship with Digi, and I just like got really mad and like left the house and went on a walk. And then I think everybody came and found me, and I just like told everybody that I fucked you because I don't know, I felt really guilty. And then there was some kind of like weird telephone game, and Riley like somehow thought that you raped me, and he started like accosting you, and it turned into like this fucking fight. And you and Faith were in the car, and he was like just yelling at you, like screaming at you, and like not letting you leave.
He was having some kind of fucking like
He was like,
acid trip or something. I don't
Yeah,
know.
he
He was
was-
yelling at me, like trying to fight me in the street, and I was
yeah,
like,
he was fucking cracked out, and like I had to get between you guys, and then you left, and that was it.
yeah. So that's the story. And it's one of those things where, yeah, it wouldn't be public, but I don't care. Like, it's whatever. I've talked about my life openly anyway. Like, it's not even a got you. Like, you got.
I believe
just
them
making shit up.
on that story. I think that what happened is Ralph May wanted to cheat on Digibro because she is a demon and wants to inflict suffering and cruelty into this realm from Satan's lair. And so she hooks up with this tranny, this retard anime autist, and grooms him into being a tranny. And then when she's done inflicting agony into him, she decides, I'm going to latch on to this other retard, and I'm going to cheat when I do it. And so Ralph has found out day one that his girlfriend, his current 18-year-old girlfriend, is pregnant with his child. And they're going to this acid crack house. And May has already made up their mind, and there's a meeting of the minds between May and Ralph that they're going to have sex because Ralph is a horny pig monster, and May is a demon that wants to cheat because it's funny to her. So they meet up and they do the deed, and May is now sticky with gunt sweat. She is coomed in, and she is absorbing. She is emitting evil into the atmosphere around her, and this makes the occupants of the dwelling that she's next to feel uncomfortable. And since they're on acid and they're more in tune with the spiritual, her evil aura is causing them to trip bad. And Riley thinks there is something up, and I believe the rest of the story, that there is like accusations of rape and shit that is going on. And Ralph freaks out and he's like, if I get killed here right now by these cracked out fiends, I need there to be evidence. And he turns to his most trusted friend, Gator, and turns on Discord and calls him, just so that there is a witness in case May and Ralph are murdered there. Gator will be able to assist the police in identifying his attackers in any way possible. But thankfully, for absolutely nobody, Ralph and Faith make an escape, and Gator just kind of fills in the gaps in his mind, because Gator is an unreliable narrator to his own life. If he were to try and recall a story to you that he experienced firsthand that was a significant turning point in his life, he would not be able to recall it with even 50% accuracy. So that is what I've come to as a fair and impartial moderator in this issue. That is what I believe to be true. So, yeah, American Psycho style, exactly. So to round off the Gunt news, the other update is that we have found out why Ralph has moved. There is a civil court case against him from the guy who had... Okay, a couple months ago, Ralph went to DC and he got T-boned. He was at an intersection and his passenger side of the car was smashed the fuck in. And he got T-boned at an intersection. He was found at fault. And I remember this very clearly because he went on Twitter and said, my fucking insurance payout was so big, I just bought myself a new car. Sweet. And everyone was like, that's not how insurance works. And now months later, he's being sued by the person who hit him because he was, again, found at fault. And I assume that there is some long-term physical health issue that he has as a result of being in this car accident. Because, car accident, Ralph walked away with just bruising up and down his body. But car accidents are like very chaotic. Here's a fun fact. Patton died 1 year after World War II ended because he was in a car accident. And even though he was in the back seat, he hit his head up against a window in the back seat, and it like compressed his spine and inflamed his brain and killed him. It's a very sad story. My point is that even the people you may not expect to get hurt in a car accident can be fatally wounded or seriously lifelong injured as a result of an accident. Sabotage. Patton was murdered. I don't know this story, guys. You have to fill me in. Be sure to send me emails with book suggestions about this, so I'll definitely read them. He also wasn't wearing a seatbelt. Aha. Anyways, he's being sued, and the exact day this was filed, by the way, he moved. He announced that he was moving out of Richmond. He would never declare where he was living, and nobody would ever be able to find him again. So now we know why he has moved. It's because he is dodging servicing from this guy who's trying to claim damages. And what's very funny, I don't know if I guess it's a few pages back now. Actually, it's going to be in the Gunt Hunt thread. I'll play a couple seconds of this actually because it's pretty funny. I've now called it the Gunt Bounty Hunt because he is trying to dodge servicing. So this happened yesterday, and we'll listen to it.
I understand he's going to build a studio in Florida.
This is Bibble, the pet black of the kill stream talking.
I understand he's going to build a studio in Florida, whatever the fuck. Honestly, man, I might have to go to Florida. Florida seems like it's the place where all the base people are going. And, also we have to combat all these. I mean, that's where your new place is, right? Oh, fuck. I'm sorry.
Bibble,
oh, fuck.
Dude, come on.
Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. I'm sorry, dude. Fuck!
That's all right. Just...
I mean, they don't know where.
Don't worry. They won't. They won't find. Don't worry about it.
Fuck.
Just excited about.
Just don't worry about it.
And the Oscar for Best Supporting Actor goes to the Token Black. The Token Black, ladies and gentlemen, immediately caught his mistake, and then you can just see the regret in his performance. Oh, shucks, golly gee williker, massa. I'm so sorry I gave out your new address in Florida where all the based people are going. Oh, don't you worry about that, young Pibble. Don't you worry. No, they won't find out. Pibble, don't worry about it. Really just tugs at the heartstrings, the relationship between Ethan Ralph and his young servant as they try to throw disinfo. I'm not convinced by this at all. Ralph was moving into my basement. Yeah, exactly. I won't play this, but I will play the last clip. Actually, no, I will play this. Fuck it.
I don't know. I'll try to, or at least record some stuff while I'm up there on my phone. I could do that probably. And do a play-by-play later on. I don't want to do it live. That would be hilarious, though. But I need that community service too badly. And no, it's not ordered. It's called, we do a little, preemptive community service. That's not crazy. I don't know. Has nobody heard of that? I talked about this yesterday because I just saw the stalkers going crazy over it. And it's like, well, no, I'm just doing it preemptively.
Stalker child. So. He had kept this a little bit of a secret, but he's facing new legal issues because, of course, he is. I think he was going 65 and a 30 or something, or like a 60 and a 30. I think it was 65 and a 30. So he's facing like more fucking driving issues because he can't help himself. And his attorney told him to volunteer for community service before it even goes to trial to try and soften his sentence. So now, Ethan Ralph, the gunted man, is wearing a high-res or high-vis vest jacket on the side of the road in Virginia with one of those pokey sticks, literally sweeping it up for the state of Virginia so that he can hopefully reduce his sentence by the time it goes to trial. He is literally sweeping it up in real time on the side of the road because he has a suspended sentence, and he has done this so many fucking times that there's a real chance that he will go to jail. So his attorney told him just subscribe to community service. By the way, you might have noticed that the title of that episode was Josh Moon's Long Lost Dad Located, and it was a real letdown. He announced that this guy was my dad, but I thought everyone knew that Critical was my dad. I thought I've talked about that before. I thought he had talked about that before. I don't really watch his content, but I thought everyone knew about it. No. This was his teaser. You ready? Oh, he's playing music. It's a big deal.
Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. Stay tuned.
Or is this the unthink? He really does think he's like a wrestling star. I will say this. I have not seen my dad since I was before like 5 years old. I literally cannot tell you what he looks like. If you showed me a picture of him, I would not be able to tell you with any certainty more than a normal person, just like comparing how someone looks to how I look, if someone is my dad or not. So, there is like no shame in this. There is no own. I don't know him. I literally don't know him. I don't care. My paternal figures were other people in my life, and I'm grateful for them, and they're pretty upstanding. So I'm not sure. I think that he just assumes that because he has very severe daddy issues, that everybody has to have severe daddy issues. I remember he came out like the first day that that he decided he didn't like me. He accused me of getting molested, and it's like, bro, I don't know what the fuck has happened in your life, but considering how often he projects everything at other people, it must be some pretty dark shit if he thinks that like a picture of a guy that I am related to but I have not seen would negatively affect me. But that's his current hang up. He says he's going to try to get him on the show. I don't know what he would have to say though. I think he's like a mechanic. That's all I know. Or maybe Critical will adopt me. I think Critical is younger than me, but that's okay. It's 2022. We don't ask questions about age anymore. pull up a picture of dead Ronnie. I don't keep pictures of random people's dads on my computer, so I can't. I can pull. Now, if you wanted me to pull up a picture of Barb, I do happen to have this on hand, ready to go for just such an occasion. Oh yeah, I think that's it. Did I miss anything? This has been a kind of a slow week. I don't think anything too consequential has happened. Just lots of Ralph shit.